Welcome back. It's day 23, Asteya. Let's get started. Yoga Pants and Plants. 30 Days of Compassionate Yoga is an invitation to journey toward being in the present moment, an opportunity to emulate the way nature lives in the moment. Be like a plant. Don't worry how you look. Notice how you sense and respond, like the way a tree reaches for the sun or a source of water. Nourish yourself with movement and stillness. Allow compassion to flourish for a little bit of time every day. Day 23, Asteya. Begin today's practice on your back in effortless rest pose with your hands on your body, sensing and feeling your breath today. Asteya is for the third yama of non-stealing that we explored in day 5. Yoga philosophy teaches that the need to steal essentially arises because of a lack of faith in ourselves to be able to create what we need by ourselves. When we let go of the moment and dwell on repetitive thoughts or emotions, we are stealing from our future. By now, your body has had 22 days of the practice of being in the present moment. So in this moment, as you lay and listen to my words, celebrate the progress you have made by being in the present moment more and more and learning how to breathe in a way that integrates the mind and the body. Very easily roll to one side and lay like your body is in effortless rest on your side. With your hips stacked, you can place your arm to be like a pillow, or if you prefer, you could put a pillow under your head. Start with a clamshell somatic movement where you keep your ankles together and open at the knees, exploring how far you can open your legs while keeping the pelvis neutral. Explore opening and closing of the top leg for 5 to 7 times. Enjoy this exploration as a slow, curious process. Now take your feet and bring them out so they're right below your knees. Everything else is still the same. Your feet are at a 90-degree angle from the body, though, in this exploration. In this exploration, instead of keeping the ankles together, you'll be keeping your knees together. And you can take your top arm up, can bring your arm up over your head and place your hand on the ear on the opposite side of the body. And then curl the side body up. And the head and foot can come up as you curl the side body. Keeping in mind that the movement begins when you curl from the armpit to the hip, which we've explored that before. But this time you can bring the foot and the head along and explore that movement for 5 to 7 times. Going slow and smooth, especially if you notice any jigs or jags, just try to smooth them out. When you feel complete with that process, you can roll on the back and stretch out the legs for a few relaxing breaths. Ask yourself how your hips and the side body that you just explored feel compared to the other side. Put the feet in effortless rest again, and then roll to the other side, starting with the clamshell somatic movement. Where your feet are tucked back to be aligned with your tailbone. And you keep your ankles together and open at the knees, exploring how far you can open while keeping the pelvis neutral, and explore that movement for 5 to 7 times. Now you can adjust the feet so they're even with the knees. Legs are in a 90-degree from the body. Making sure the pelvis is stable and the hips are stacked on top of one another. Wrap your top arm over your head and keeping the knees together, curl the side body, bringing the head and foot up as you curl the body, and explore that for 5 to 7 movements on this side. When you feel complete, roll onto your back and stretch the legs out long for a few relaxing breaths. Consider how making movements that feel right for your body today and staying focused on the present moment work together as truthfulness and non-stealing, or Satya and Asteya, building capacity for finding the breath and settling the body, and connecting the muscles with the brain help you to trust yourself more and more. When you are ready, you can bring the knees into an effortless rest position and do a foot press, feeling the grounding from the feet pressing into the ground and coming up into the pelvis. Before moving on, do a gentle back and forth of the pelvis from one side to the other, kind of like a teeter-totter, with the fulcrum being in the center of the pelvis. Enjoying that movement back and forth. Roll over onto your belly and place the body in a crocodile pose, allowing for your head to be on your hands, and take a few breaths. For added comfort, you can put a pillow or a blanket under your torso. Slowly turn your head to the left. The left arm is bent and the other arm is down by the side. Begin with a small movement of lifting just the elbow up and setting it back down. Now connecting your head and your hand. Lift your elbow and shoulder up, but not straight up. Lift across the back toward the other hip. Come back down very slowly and completely relax. And then do that one more time. Now focusing on the opposite leg. Lift the leg and let it rest slowly. Try that a few times. The tendency is to go too big. So just gently lift the opposite leg. Feel the movement coming from the muscles within that leg or that glute, not recruiting muscles from other parts of the body. So if you are recruiting from other parts of the body, then you might be going too big. So even the tiniest movement is helpful here. Now you can combine the movement of the shoulders going down across diagonally to this opposite leg and continue that for a few lifts. This is the back lift somatic practice. Gently lift your head and turn it in the other direction. The arm is bent and the other arm is down by the side. Begin with a small movement of lifting just the elbow up and then setting it back down. Then connecting your head and your hand. Go ahead and lift the elbow and shoulder, but not straight up. Lift it across diagonally toward the other hip. Come down very slowly, completely relax. And then do that one more time. Then take your attention to the opposite leg and lift it up. Just like on the other side, you want the movement to come just from that leg itself, not recruiting muscles from other parts of the body. So it may be a very small movement. Now you can combine the movement with the elbow and the head, the shoulders, the diagonal movement across the body to that leg, lifting up. Continue that for at least 3 times. Bring both hands into crocodile and breathe in such a way that you completely expand. In crocodile, your forehead is on your hands. On your next breath, just hinge at the neck and bring your head up and lower back down, lengthening as you bring your head back down. So you'll try that again and ask yourself, what does it feel like to hinge and lower the head back down? Enjoy a full release into the earth, allowing the breath to still be present and full in the belly. The next thing that you'll be doing is to bring your awareness down the spinal column to the place that's behind your heart center. Notice your breath and legs are still relaxed. Lift in a very small way from behind the heart center, and the head and neck do not hinge. Instead, they are an extension of the spine. So this is a different movement than we did a minute ago. Very slowly come back down. This is a way to awaken those upper muscles in the spine. Try that movement again, a gentle lift from the back of the heart, having your head, neck, and head be an extension of the spine, and coming back down. Now you can bring your hands, just slide them on the floor down to be in line with the chest in the way that the elbows are up. Sometimes people say you look like little grasshopper arms. The hands are pushing very lightly on the ground as you lift from the back of the heart and continue lifting from that spot even down behind the navel center. Lift into that upper arch with the head and neck being an extension of the spine. Legs are relaxed as you are bringing in the upper spine online and allowing the movement to return down again. This is an exploration of Cobra. The next time, try it by exploring how the shoulder blades pinch toward the spine and even maybe pull down a little bit toward the waist. Continue to explore this Cobra. Imagine that you're like a baby doing tummy time. This is a way for your brain to reconnect to the parts of the body that you probably don't notice unless they start to hurt. And when you're complete, you can lower the head down, resting and turning your head in any direction that feels good. You can relax the arms down, the side bodies. Just observe what you have noticed and let that sink in. Roll the body over onto your back and integrate all the work you did. Just let your legs be long and notice how that feels. Now think about what a tabletop looks like. You're on your hands and knees. So bring the hands and knees into the same position and you're doing an upside down table. From here, do a few arch and flattens. And this just reminds the mind how movement comes from the very center. By moving the pelvis, you're going to see movement in your arms and knees. Explore that a few times, seeing how the movement flows outward. Then drawing the knees further in, give them a hug. Roll to your side into a fetal position. And then come to a tabletop on the floor. Or you can, if you prefer, you can stand in a tabletop at the chair. You can do a cat and cow in tabletop because that always feels great. Coming back to neutral in tabletop, let's explore a plank pose by stretching one leg back, feeling the energy moving from the pelvis into the shoulders and then down into the leg. Keep the exploration simple and light and come back to table. And then you can stretch the other leg back, allowing that feeling of energy to come from the pelvis up through the shoulders and also down through the legs into the foot. Once again, keeping the exploration light and simple and then coming back to table. Now experiment with the energy of plank by walking the hands forward slightly and doing a plank from the knees. The pelvis is neutral, yet there is energy flowing through it. Then if you feel ready, with a steady pelvis, lift the knees and feel the energy of plank. The way the energy moves through the body from the shoulders to the feet. So you can explore that going back into table to rest in between planks. If you're not comfortable doing a full plank, you can just do a plank from the knees. When you're complete with that plank exploration, bring the body into a seated position, either on a floor with lots of props and pillows around you, or in Steve's case, on his little bench, or you could sit in a chair. As you move into this seated position, rotate the body, move the shoulders in any way to release any excess energy you have. Do what feels comfortable. And then place one hand on the opposite knee and twist the body from the sacrum up the spine into the neck and head in one particular direction. Return to neutral. Switch sides and twist the body from the sacrum up through the spine, the neck, and the head in the other direction. Coming to the center, tap into the part of your mind that has a great imagination. And imagine you're sitting on a rock in the forest. And in this particular example, the body feels very comfortable. It's taking in the sounds of the forest. Below your awareness, the body is at ease. Slowly the clouds clear, and your body can feel streams of sunlight warming you just enough. The magnificent energy that comes from the sun is filling you with a mix of contentment and knowing. Enjoy some time sitting here in this space. My voice will be silent and music will fill the space, allowing your mind and body to be present in this moment. And soon I will come back and invite you to end the practice. Begin to hear birds and feel a breeze. Wiggle the body as it comes back online to movement. Sway the body gently. As you sway the body, ask yourself, did I find that 6 directional breath naturally? Did it just show up when I was sitting in that place of stillness? Bring the hands over the head and down the center as if in a heart shape, and landing at your heart. And we'll end the practice with the teacher in me salutes the teacher in you. Namaste. Now, as you rise from your mat, don't forget to eat more plants. You will feel and move better. Follow us for tips at flowingyan.com.